Greetings, Zombie Slayers, Super Jim here. This is part 4 of my TranZit high round strategy guide here on Black Ops 2 Zombies. And I'm going to build the machine gun turret just to show you guys how to do it. Basically, there are 3 parts you have to collect in this farm area of the map, and then you have to place them on the buildables table, of course, to assemble it. One word of caution with this machine gun turret: if it hits you, it can kill you in one hit, so you have to be super careful. What I sometimes do with it, if I use it, is set it up here on the porch, on the veranda here of the farmhouse, and then I train zombies down at the bus stop location out the front of the gate. That way I don't really have to worry about getting hit by it, and it will still help a little bit with taking care of zombies in the lower rounds. Obviously in the higher rounds it's not going to kill zombies quite so good, but it's definitely not something you really need to have to worry about setting up. We'll plant it here on the veranda, and you do need to power it with a turret, so if you're playing solo, make sure you've got a turret. Swap it out for the machine gun, place the machine gun, then grab the turret back and place that there. Once the turret eventually runs out of power and falls apart, the machine gun turret will stop working. So the traps, those buildable traps in TranZit, are really not that practical and not that useful, to be honest. They're pretty pointless actually, but it's kind of cool, I guess. It gives you something to build, if nothing else. And you can see it spraying bullets all over the place there. Actually, they are sort of coming down here where I am right now, so have to be careful I don't get hit by one of those, or it could be a very short game. I did actually post a video about 6 months back showing how one hit from this turret in my foot, of all places, took me down in one game, whereas at a fairly high round. I can't remember what round it was. Something like round 40 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty hazardous, the friendly fire on that thing. And we're pretty much at the end of round 18 here. So you can see the turret is pretty much on its last leg, so we'll grab that back. I think it has like three phases, or 3 usages if you like, and it'll go for a while, it will stop working, then it'll start up again. I think it does that 3 times. So I'm going to grab it back so I've got one more use out of it. And we're going to change up our weapons pretty shortly here. We're also going to build the jet gun, the one weapon for this map, which is essential for getting through really high rounds in this map. But we've got insta-kill going here, so we're just going to take care of as many zombies as we can with the RPD. And sounds like the bus is going to come back here as well in a second. Alright, so we might take care of most of the rest of these zombies and just leave one zombie, and then we will head off and start collecting the parts for the jet gun and that. And we might also hit the mystery box and try and get a few different guns. Although I've got really good guns at the moment, especially Mustang and Sally will still kill zombies right up to the high rounds. Probably the ray gun is slightly better than Mustang and Sally because you don't have quite as much risk of splash damage. Although there is obviously splash damage on the ray gun, it's not quite as dangerous to your health and safety as the Mustang and Sally splash damage is. Okay, so we're going to get on the roof of the bus here just so the bus takes off. You don't have to wait for it to leave quite so much. And it looks like we've got the last zombie here on top of the roof with us. So I'm trying to get him so he's on one of the windows there. Then we don't have to walk him around too much. But we'll head on through and try and find some of the pieces for the jet gun as well. And just keep this boarded up. Now, I am going to fast forward a lot of these bus trips, guys, so you don't have to watch the excruciating slow trips between locations in this map. Now we do have the jet engine part to the jet gun that we picked up in episode 3 of this solo strategy. So we're going to place that on the buildables table when we get to town. Eventually, we'll get there. We'll place that there and then we'll head to the hunting shack to get a second piece because that's the closest one to town. Get that built. And I believe the mystery box is located in town at the moment as well, so we'll hit that a few times to try and get the ray gun. So we'll head through here. I'll go hit the mystery box here to start with. Now I could easily just keep going with the weapons that I got, but the ray gun is pretty good. Look at that, guys. Look at that luck. So I'm actually going to switch out the RPD just because I know I've got the hammer already in the fridge in the farm map. And we've got the Mustang and Sally ray gun combo, which is pretty much as good as it gets for standard weapons. So let's place this. It's actually the second part we're placing on the buildables table there. We already had that coil of wire from the power station that we collected not that long ago. So we're going to head through and get the third piece actually, which will be from this hunting shack or whatever it is. Just fight off the old denizens on the way. So as you come back from town towards the power, you just head left and you'll see a small shack with some fire out in the front yard with some lava or whatever it is. And it's just through here. It's pretty easy to find this. You can get the Bowie knife in here as well, but the Bowie knife is not worth getting really if you can get the. We're just looking around for the part here. It is the dial. Where is it? Over here on this bed. So yeah, the Bowie knife is not that good compared to Galva Knuckles, obviously. So it's kind of a waste of money getting it if you're going to get the Galva Knuckles. So we'll head back to town and we'll place this on the buildables table as well and get that done. And then we just have one last piece, which is a piece that we'll find in the Nacht Der Untoten building, which is in the cornfield between farm and power. They always seem to find something to put in their maps these days that is just really, really annoying, don't you think? Like we had George Romero was the first major annoyance that they put in a map, really. The monkeys weren't too bad compared to him. Then they had the space dude in Moon, and this one is just those frigging denizens. As well as the layout of the map, for that matter. Okay, so we'll probably fast forward this trip as well, guys, once we start going, because it is a long trip round in the cornfields here. And I'm just going to get on the roof. And hopefully we can knock the zombie off when we go across the bridge here. But yeah, like I said before, if you just want to get to where the turbine is at the bus depot, it's actually faster to run. Quite a bit faster to run rather than take the bus, but you'll obviously have to swat off the denizens as you go, and the zombie should get knocked off here as we go through. There he goes. So he'll run along behind. Bit less hassle than having to run him around on the roof. And one more thing I'm going to do before we actually go to Nacht Der Untoten in this map is I'm going to switch out the turbine I've got, because as you know we've used it on a couple of things. Like we used it on the machine gun turret, so it's probably got one more use out of it, but we're going to switch it out for a fresh one because I'm going to be pack punching the ray gun shortly as well. So one thing you can do, a little tip here, if you want to get a fresh turbine, and it won't let you pick up a new one if you're actually carrying one, or if the turbine's still somewhere in the map, you can just chuck it in the lava like this, and that will burn it up straight away, and you can grab a fresh one straight off the table there. And you're good to go basically for whatever you're going to use it for. So we'll jump back on the bus and we'll head to Nacht now for that last piece of the jet gun, and I'll fast forward this section. Okay, now on the way what we're going to do is we'll stop briefly at the diner location. What I tend to like to do is to set up all of the different teleporters so they're ready to go. That way if I end up in a part of the map where I need to get out of there in a hurry, I can just jump straight in the teleporter. So it's kind of a good idea to be prepared and to have them set up, but it's not essential. It's just one of those things that could come in handy in a sticky situation. So we set up that teleporter there back at Diner, and what we're going to do now is head through past the farm area on the way to Nacht. I'm actually going to jump off here and switch out the Pack-a-Punch Mustang and Sally for the sledgehammer, the Pack-a-Punch hammer that I had in the fridge, just so I've got a good points building gun, and this will be probably a little better for insta-kill drops as well. But it's always good to have Mustang and Sally in the fridge as well. It's just another one of those guns that's great to keep in the fridge for a future game. So you want to jump off basically as you get halfway through the cornfields. There is a lamp just here where I'm going to create another teleporter next to a burnout car in the middle of the road. And you want to jump off there, and on the right hand side of the road as you come off the bus, if you head up this pathway near the lamp and then take the first right, there's a narrow path that'll lead you up to Nacht. And this is basically the lower level of Nacht Der Untoten reproduced in this map. Unfortunately, you can't go up the stairs, but these areas I'm checking, you can find the handle for the jet gun, which is the last part that we need to build this thing and get that done. And then we'll have that as our third weapon, and the main weapon we'll have for getting through the really high rounds. Alright, so now I am forced to go on foot now to town so that we can place this on the buildables table and get the jet gun built, because we have missed the bus. I might catch up with it at the power station. It's probably pretty unlikely. I don't think the timing is going to be conducive to catching it though. By the time we get there, it'll probably have left already. So I'm just creating another teleporter back there. Didn't quite see. But the little denizen would have jumped off my head on that one. And here we are at the town location. So we were going to pack-a-punch the ray gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this turbine here again, right here, next to the AK on the wall. You don't have to drop it down inside there or anything like that. It will power the switch from that location. So that's a little handy tip that I mentioned in a previous episode in this series, just in case you missed that. And we'll power walk our way through here to town to get this jet gun built. Now once we have the jet gun built, we'll be pretty much good to go to power through the rounds and get to whatever round we have in mind as our goal. We've already set up that teleporter previously. This is one of the easier maps to get to really, really high rounds in Black Ops 2 Zombies. Mainly because of the jet gun and the fact that it has unlimited ammo. And there's a super easy train spot in it out front of the bus. Out the front of the farm where the bus goes. Okay, we're back here in town. Let's go into the bar and get this thing built. Grab the jet gun off this. And I'll explain the best ways to use this as well so you can get the most out of it when we start using that. But we are going to head down here now, and we were going to pack a punch, but unfortunately that switch is not powered for some reason. So it's weird because you can place, it might even be that the turbine had just finished its first cycle and was temporarily stopping, and then would have restarted again to power that switch up. I might have just timed it badly because I placed it in exactly the same spot as I did earlier in this series to power that switch, but whatever the case may be, we're gonna have to resort to a plan B here. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna head through to the bus depot once again here. We're gonna have to get another turbine, but the problem with this is because that was a fresh turbine, it's gonna have like quite a long usage before it falls apart, and while it is still in the map in one piece, as we know it is in the power location, you won't be able to pick up a second turbine. So we might have some difficulties here getting a second turbine once we do get to the bus depot. But we'll see how we go. If we wait long enough, we'll be able to grab one. And we're going to have to place that all the way back at the power station. This is the thing with this map. Like, some of you guys may remember how I did the all guns pack punched in a single game challenge. I actually did that challenge twice on the town survival map. The beauty of that map is Pack-a-Punch is right there. You don't have to unlock it or anything. It's right there in the middle of the map. So it's very, very convenient, provided you have enough points to Pack-a-Punch whenever you want. And we actually were able to pick up the turbine there, so that's kind of a good thing, but a little bit surprising that the turbine didn't last too long. So we're going to try and teleport our way back to the power station, and this is actually a pretty good location. We came out here, the cornfields area. So we're going to fail. Are we going to fail? No, we're not going to fail. We're going to get on the bus like a boss and catch that through a very, very short ride here back to the power station to place the turbine yet again. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, basically, town survival is an ideal map. So is Nuketown, really. Some of those smaller maps where there's a pack-a-punch right there, you can use anytime you want. But in this map, and in some of the other maps like Rise, the pack-a-punch is such a drama to get to it and use it during the game that it would be very, very tricky to do and time-consuming more than anything else to pack-punch every gun in the map. So you're going to see there, we're placing the turbine in exactly the same location as we did before. And this time catching the bus, we should be pretty good. It may have been a time thing that caused it to... because we did run all the way from power through to town. I thought I would have enough time, to be honest, but maybe we didn't, what with placing that part. In any case, we should be good to go this time to pack-a-punch the ray gun. Yeah, so basically, that's one of the things about this map. I think some of the best maps, you are able to pack-a-punch throughout the game pretty easily, like Riese from World at War and Black Ops. You know, you have maps like Ascension, of course, Kino, and some of those maps where you can pack-a-punch throughout the game. No problem at all. That's one of the cool things about the map, whereas this map's just a pain in the neck, especially solo. And Rise is a little bit the same as well. Mob of the Dead as well, because you can only go there every second round. I think there's some of the things that sort of add up and make a map good or not so good. But definitely when it comes to pack-a-punching a bunch of guns, it kind of limits how many guns you're going to pack-a-punch during a game. I guess one of the cool things about this map is the fact you can put a gun in the fridge and then have that gun sitting there waiting for you, already pack-a-punched. Okay, this time we're good to go, so we're going to head down here to the pack-a-punch and pack-a-punch the ray gun. Pack-a-punching the ray gun doesn't really do anything extraordinary to the gun itself, but it gives you a little bit more ammo capacity. There's a very slight damage boost. I think it's more not so much in the damage, but in the splash damage radius. Technically, I think is affected. Now that's where you deposit points, and you can withdraw points from the bank just there, guys. As you can see, you can store funds right there. And you can also gift funds by using these keys down here. But you need to galvanuckle those. And then it'll let you hit the switch for gifting money as well. If you didn't know that already. So that's another reason that the galvanuckles are so important in this map. And a good reason. Let's grab the jet gun here. Oh yeah. Good now. Yeah, but that's another reason that you should definitely save the hatch for the roof of the diner rather than putting it on the bus itself. Okay, so we're going to try and activate this portal right here. If I can get a denizen on my head. There's a spawn location over here. There we go. Okay, that one's set up as well. And we're going to try and get back to the farm again. Okay, so we're back. We're back in the middle of the cornfield yet again. And I got lucky a second time here because this is really one of the closest portals that we could have got to get back to the farm for our area that we run the train in this map. So I'm going to run back to this spot here, across the lava, and then we'll be good to finally move into round 20 here.